Hi guys, good evening. Welcome to tonight's session. My name is Hasan Dossani, and tonight we will be talking about the CBE platform and the SBL question. So most of you students who are attempting SBL for the first time, who have not yet seen a proper SBL paper, I want you to just show you how a SBL paper looks. What are the key components of an SBL paper? And then we will use the actual CBE platform so that you also are visually familiarized with the CBE platform. Okay. So before I start, there are three things I want to talk about. It will take just few minutes. The first thing is about the syllabus change. I have been getting numerous messages about syllabus change in SBL. Please, I have gone through the syllabus change. It is a very minor change. Okay, very minor change. When you read the document, it looks like a lot of things have changed, but when I read line by line and I track everything, it's very minor change. So please don't worry about syllabus changes. Okay, I will cover the syllabus changes in my P2P webinar starting from 9th of August. Okay, so don't worry about syllabus change. 2 or 3 small topics have been added, 1 or 2 topics have been deleted. So please relax, leave it with me and attend the webinar so that you can familiarize, you can go through the syllabus changes, and I will talk about the new topics so that you are covered from that aspect. Okay. The second thing I wanted to talk about is technical articles. Again, I get a lot of inquiries about should we read technical articles? Not really, not at the moment, because there is no latest technical article in SBL. The last ones were like many months back, and there is no point in reading old technical articles because those have been covered in my course and the lectures, and they have been tested in the exams. So keep your eyes open for any new article which might pop up in SBL between now and the exam. If a new article comes, that's really important. But the previous articles, they are gone. Don't worry about it. Okay. And the last thing I want to talk about is my upcoming P2P webinar arranged by ACCA. And this will be my 4th consecutive webinar on SBL. It will be a 5-day thing, and it is starting. My webinar is starting from 9th of August around, I believe, 8 p.m. Pakistan time. So kindly adjust your local time accordingly, and those will be recorded as well by ACCA, and they will be rolled out into YouTube's and Vimeo. Okay, so very important that you guys attend the webinar because it will be a very exam focused approach. I will have 5 days, 15 hours in which I will talk about top 20 important topics. I will try to, cover those topics and simultaneously do actual exam questions so that you understand how to solve. We'll talk about exam techniques, we'll talk about professional marks, we'll talk about time management. So please block your diaries, block your calendar, 9th August for 5 days SBL webinar, especially good for self-study students. Okay. Right. So this is, I have got my own portal as a tutor to access the CBE platform, but I think that students, most of you might not know that ACCA's website they have the CBE Practice Platform on the website. Okay, but you will need to log in to your My ACCA, and then from there you need to navigate. You go to SBL, you go to exam practice, and there one of the menus you will see the CBE Practice Platform. So you will need to look for it. Okay. So when you log into the CBE platform, you will see this nice looking girl, and you will see the various subjects here. I will go down to the strategic business leader. I will open it up, and here you will see ACCA official resources and blank workspace. You will need to click on ACCA official resources. Under ACCA official resources, there is a past exam library, there are practice exams and specimen exams. Okay, so don't worry about the specimen exams. I will open one paper. I plan to do practice exam, SBL practice exam 3. Okay, I will assign that paper. When you assign a paper, it will appear on the left side, SBL. I will click here, SBL practice paper. This screen might be a little different from the screen, but you will get an idea. So now this is the actual paper. This is the actual CBE format which you will have. When you will enter, this is how it will look. Let me explain the components before we move on. Okay. So this on the left hand side, you see a list of exhibits. The number 1 exhibit is overview, number 2 is briefing notes, number 3 is transcript of board meeting, and so forth. So there are total 7 exhibits. Okay, if you go down, the next thing is called tasks. And task simply means questions. Okay, task 1 is question 1, 24 marks. Task 2A is question number 2A, 10 marks, 2B, and so forth. All right, all the tasks are there, which are basically the questions. So the case study is here. This is the case study or the story. The case study and the story is here, exhibits 1 to 7, followed by the questions or the requirements or the tasks. And then you will see response options. Response option simply means there's a word processor, there is a spreadsheet, and slides, which are presentation slides. So you will type your answers in word processor. Spreadsheet, in SBL, you don't really need a spreadsheet. Okay. If there is any financial table you need to show, you can draw, you can use the word processor, you can insert a table in the word processor. So I would recommend that you guys stay away from spreadsheet unless you are very good in Excel. If you are very good in Excel, then okay. But if you are an average user, then no need for spreadsheet in SBL paper. So relax. Slides is basically to be used when the question says make a presentation or make a presentation slide. Then for that question, you will use slides. I will show all of these one by one. But do you understand that on the left side is very important, exhibits followed by tasks, and then the answer sheets or the response options. Now you can also adjust the the width of this section. Okay, you can adjust the width of this by dragging your mouse. I generally keep it smaller. Okay. All right, so now let me enter more students. So the following exhibits available on the left-hand side of the screen provide information relevant to the task, and the list of exhibits are given here. It is the same one which is appearing here. Okay. All right, done. So let's now look very carefully. I will click on the first one, but before I move on, let me look at some questions. So, some of the students are saying we can't hear you properly. What about other students? Are you able to see me properly?
Yes,
It's
sir.
properly, sir. Yeah.
It's clear, sir.
Maybe
Yes, sir.
internet issue at your end. That's fine. That's all right. Thank you. All right. So let me click on overview. Okay, that's the first exhibit. I will click on it, and you see, kindly mute yourself again, please. So you see, when I open overview, a new window has opened, and I can move this window. I can move this window. I will do it again. Here, okay, I will close this. Sorry. So again click on overview, and window will open. Okay. Now you need to understand how to control this window. So you can move it by the top. Okay. You can move it like this. You can move it like this. That's one important thing. Secondly, you can adjust the size of this window, and that's very important. How you can adjust the size? Go to the right hand side of the window, go to the right corner, and then go down to the right down corner. Right down corner, right and down here, right side down, you will see a small thing. You will click here, and then you adjust. You can increase the width, you can decrease the height, you can play around. Okay. Also, you can change the view. It is like 90%. If I press it, it will become smaller. If I increase it, it becomes larger. I adjust like this. So it's very simple. It's no rocket science. Any questions on this opening the window and resizing it? Yes, I will just show all these highlighting and copy pasting. I'll just show. Wait a second. So any questions on how to resize? Now, I will close this window. And similarly, I will open another exhibit. I will click on exhibit 2. And exhibit 2 is there. It is there. Same thing. You can move. You can adjust the size and all those things. Okay. And I will close it. Now I will go to the tasks. All these exhibits follow the same pattern. Let's look at question 1. So I click on question number 1. Again, it's the same thing. A fresh window will open and the question is there. And I click on question 2. The window will open. Question is there. I can change the size, and now I'll show you the response option. So let's click on word processor. Yes, Amir, I will just address that. Word processor, when you click, another window will open. It will be a simple window, a blank window. Okay, this is where you need to type. Can you see what I am typing? Very good. Now you can just type. You can select this. You can, there's a bold option. It will become bold. It can italic option, underline option. Rest all is useless. There's undo option. Okay, this one is undo. What is this paragraph? So for headings, you can use this. Okay, so these are for heading various sizes and formats. Heading 1 is a big one. Heading 2 will be slightly smaller. Heading 4 will be more smaller. Just quick shortcuts when you give headings. You can select the headings and make them bold and bigger, right? Okay, what about this? What is this? Table. If you want to insert a table in the Word document, it is just like Microsoft Word. You click on this one, you click on table, and then you select how many columns and how many rows. Okay, so you select number of columns and number of rows, just like Word, and the table will be there. You can adjust the columns of the table, you can increase the column of the table size, all those things. Okay, I will undo so that it goes away. And then center option, left align, bullets. This is bullets. Okay, you press here, it's bullet. It added a bullet here. You press here, it will start numbering. So very simple, like a normal word processor. You need to type your answer. All the questions, listen very carefully. All the questions are to be answered in this one document. You will not have separate word processors for each question. All the questions, so it's very important that you write the question numbers when you start answering the question. It's very important that you write the question numbers big and bold so that the examiner can clearly see from where the new question is starting. Okay, don't forget that. All right. So I'm done with this word processor. I will close it. Now what happens if I close it? Let's see. I love you. I write it and I close it, or suddenly it get closed by mistake. Let's say I close this window and I go to this task, and then I again go back to the word processor, and you see it auto saves. It's always there. So don't sweat. Whatever you type is auto saved every 10 seconds, 20 seconds. So even if it gets closed, doesn't matter. Spreadsheet I will show you, but you will not use this in the exam. In SBL, you really don't require Excel. Okay, you can do your calculations on a calculator and directly type your answers on the Word document. But I just wanted to show you that this exactly looks and works like Excel. So those of you who are very good in Excel can use this. Otherwise, even I would never recommend, I will never use Excel, even though I'm very good in Excel. Okay, I'll just close it. And slides, the third item is slides. Again, a very good one. It gives you slide 1. So you don't need to do anything on the slide. You just type the slide. Bullet 1A, what are the advantage of outsourcing? So I will say, I will give a heading. What are the advantage of outsourcing? So I'll give the heading outsourcing. And I would write first bullet. I will just give a nice heading. I will center it. And these are the slide bullets. And then I scroll down and there is something called slide 1 speaker notes. In this speaker notes, I will then explain what I mean by this bullet. I can copy, Control C, I can paste. Okay. And then I can explain my points that through outsourcing, organization can be able to achieve specialization as currently blah, 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 blah. So speaker notes is where you type your explanations, and slide is where you just give simple bullets. Okay. What happens if I close it? Nothing happens. It will automatically get saved. Let's see. I open the slides again. It will be there. So you understand all these windows, how it opens, how you can resize, and especially the word processor, the functionalities, the bold, the format, the tables, the bullets. Do you understand all that? Any questions? Can we open 2 windows at one time? A lot of students are asking, can we open 2 windows at the same time? Absolutely yes. And it is very, very important to open 2 windows at the same time because it saves a lot of time. And I will show you now. Amina, just hold your question. Let me finish this, please. Umar Afzal, you are saying the same thing, voice problem, voice problem. No one else is facing voice problem. Why would we need to use slides despite we are using word processor? Good question, Aisha. When the examiner says prepare presentation slides, okay, if the question says prepare presentation slide, then it is mandatory to use the slide options, okay, the present, because the examiner wants to see how familiar you are with PowerPoint presentations. Is there any options to add new slides if more slides are required? Very good question. Is there options? Let me see. So there is slide number 1. The template is given to you. Slide number 1. Slide number 1, speaker notes. If you scroll down, you will see slide number 2, and then followed by speaker notes of slide number 2. Then again, you scroll down, slide number 3. There are 3 slides given to you. Okay, so probably the examiner expects you to make 3 slides. But you cannot add a 4th one on your own. You have to live within the number of slides given here. Okay, good question. Keyboard shortcuts work? Yes, sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So, I prefer keyboard shortcuts, but sometimes it doesn't work. So you must be familiar with all the other options. Yes, Sharif, you are right. Sayyada, hold your question. I will answer it. Font styles or size, don't worry. Just whatever is the standard, go for it. Only for headings, try to big and bold them so that it is visible. I'm just going through more questions. Is it important to mention heading question on slides? It is important to mention the heading on slides. Absolutely, yes. All these beautification things, they carry professional marks. Very, very important to mention headings on the slide. As I said, it's very, very important to open 2 windows at the same time. Why? Because let's say I open any exhibit. Okay, so I open one exhibit, I reduce the size, I reduce the width, okay, and I open my Word document simultaneously, and I reduce the width, and then I take this on the right side and I take this one on the left side. I want to reduce this more, but I'm not able to reduce the width. All right, that's the best I can do. Okay, now can you see there are 2 windows? On my left, I have kept the exhibit. On my right, I have kept the answer sheet. And they are overlapping each other. So do you see this gray line on the top, gray border? If I click on the gray border of the Word document, it will come on top. If I go to the exhibit and click on the gray border on the exhibit, it will come on top. Okay, this is how you work with 2 exhibits simultaneously. You can toggle between the windows like this. Now copy pasting, extremely important. Supposing I am reading this slide and I want to copy it. There are options. First option is I will press Control-C, which is a keyboard shortcut, Control-C. I will go to the Word document, and I will try to paste it. I will say Control V. Oh my God. Do you see it is there? But the pasting is not correct. It is like gibberish. So it's not working. So I delete it. Another option is I right click and I say paste as plain text. It's still gibberish. Okay. Again, I'll try something else. Right click and I will say Control C, right click, paste. It is gibberish. So you see, this particular exhibit is causing problem. Where is the Word document? I think I closed it. No problem. I will open it. I will take it there. So now what to do? I select this sentence. These are some practical problems in the software. So if the keyboard shortcut is not working, what do we do? Okay, now I will do a right click here. I'll see copy. And I will come here on the Word document. And I will say paste. Paste as paste. Or I would select this. No, it's not working. So this particular exhibit, let me open another exhibit. Okay. Let's say we look at overview. This one. So we copy, Control C, Control V. So this one is working fine. Did you see that? I'll do that again. Okay, you go to the exhibit, you select and then you press Control C and you go here and you do Control V. It's working fine. Another method, go here, do a right click and copy, and then you see, come here and see whether it works. Yeah, it works. So sometimes few of the exhibits, because their format is on PDF or something, it doesn't work. But most, by and large, majority of the exhibits, you will be able to copy paste. Please copy by right click. Amir, no, it was not working. Can we use Control Alt plus V for special paste? Yes, you can. Try whatever you want. Something will work, and in a worst case scenario, if it doesn't work, then you need to type it. One or two exhibit which gives problems. Majority of the exhibits you can copy paste. For example, we looked at this one. Now let's look at the other exhibit. Let's see whether I'm able to copy this line from here. Right click, copy. I go to my Word document. Where is the Word document? I think I closed it. I go down, open the word processor. Let's see if I'm able to paste it. Yeah, it worked. This one is paste. No, this one is old one. Yeah, it's working. No, it's not working. You see, so sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. I see. So Bismi is saying that I faced similar issue while practicing. But in exams, there were no issues. Oh, that's very good. You now understand the basic look and feel. So let's, one more thing, one last thing before we do a question. Let's say I open an exhibit. Okay. So while you are reading it, let me reduce the thing. There is an option of highlight here. Can you see highlight? Highlight. And then you press highlight and then you select the color. Okay. And then whatever you read, you select highlight and it will be highlighted. Again, you are reading this and so you think this one is important. You go and press highlight, it will be highlighted. If you want to remove, you select the thing. Go to remove highlight. Okay, so highlight is an important feature, but I have another way to highlight stuff. So, and then there's a calculator, but you are allowed a calculator in the exam. There's a scratch pad. For the scratch pad is just for your rough working, but do not do anything in your scratch pad. Okay, please don't do anything in your scratch pad. It's useless. Whatever you want to do, directly do on your Word document, which is your answer sheet. You can, whatever rough work you do on your answer sheet, you can easily delete after, right? So please do not use scratch pad at all. It will waste your time by moving from scratch pad to Word document and vice versa. So the only good thing is the highlight feature, which you can, select and highlight. Let me go through questions before I will. Just checking, is there a CBE format version for us to practice on ACCA website? Oh, yes. You can log in through my ACCA and there is a CBE platform, practice platform given to you for practice. Okay, and that is what I am using right now. Sometimes when we paste, the font is different to our typing font, presenting a sentence in a manner. It's fine, and the examiner understands all these practical difficulties of the software. So if the font size is a little bit out or not matching, it's all right, doesn't matter. When you highlight and close immediately, does it save automatically? Yes, sometimes no. What is speaker notes in the slide? I just explained, and I think you joined late. Speaker notes is where you explain the bullets you have written in the slide. It's the explanation of the bullets. Is there a possibility that when we close the window, it doesn't save our work? Yes, there is a possibility, but very, very, very small chance. Are two calculators allowed? No. Sir, if highlight and end of each exam, keep it or remove it. It doesn't matter. You can keep it. Yes, you can, Bansal. All right, now let's solve one question. Let's solve one question so that we practically navigate and solve one question. Do you want to solve one question now? Let's do it. Sir. Yeah. A small question so that we actually know. And then after this session, tomorrow you can log in. Now you and after the session you do it yourself in your CBE platform. Okay, so I want to do, let's open task 1A. So Aisha was asking one question. She was saying, Aisha, can you ask your question again? Aisha was trying to ask a question repeatedly, and I told her to ask later. Can you? Yes, Amin. Oh, sorry, not Aisha. Amina. Amina is saying, would you recommend that we read the requirements before the exhibits? Absolutely, yes. We should read the requirements first before reading the exhibit. Now, can any intelligent person tell me why should we read the requirements before we read the exhibit?
Well, it helps you focus your mind on what you're reading.
Because we can highlight as per requirement.
So that we can highlight the important points because we already know the question, right?
Exactly.
We can find the models. You can find the models through the requirements also.
Oh, don't mention about model. It's very simple logic. I should know the requirement first. Then when I will read the exhibits, I know what to identify. I know what to look for, right? What if I read all the exhibits without knowing what to look for? Then I will again have to read the exhibits. Yes, Sayyada Naqvi has a valid point. She says, but sir, I forget the requirements and I have to read those again and again. Absolutely true, Sayyada Naqvi. And to be very honest, I am getting old as well. And I also forget the requirements. And there are so many requirements actually. If there was one question, no problem, but there is like 8 to 10 parts, separate questions. So I can't remember. So what do we do? Any suggestions how to remember a question? Very good, Mariam.
Just copy and
Sir,
paste
actually,
them.
we can write the
Copy and
requirement.
paste what? Write the requirement. Yeah. And please, I will cover all these tips and techniques in my webinar. Okay, that we write the requirements on one page on my Word document, so that we don't forget. We read the exhibit, then we stop, we look at the requirements, we then pick up information from the exhibit, then we move to the next exhibit. But I will talk about all this in detail in webinar. That's not in our today's agenda. Very good. But just to give you a heads up, Amira is saying, is it possible that one requirement will be linked with more than one exhibit? Absolutely, yes. Okay, it is very much possible. In fact, half the questions are linked with more than one exhibit. And that is where the examiner likes to give marks, that if a student has picked up information from multiple exhibit, that student can score in 70s. Did you hear that? If you want to score in 70s, then try and pick up information from multiple exhibits. Yes, Amira, I will explain all this. It's not like that. So you see, SBL is all about time management. Now you guys understand. A lot of students, they waste their time in syllabus and they don't do practice. SBL, why I insist on practice? Because these are the things, the time management, how to read requirements, how to link with multiple exhibits while remaining within the time. These are the things, and the only way you can master them is practice. 1 month enough for practice, more than enough for practice. Yeah, very good. Very good. So let's do a question.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, just one question before you start.
Yeah.
So like if there is a question and that question can be answered through some model for suppose Pastel, right? But if I don't answer through Pastel, but I give that answer in my own words, so how would that affect the marking scheme?
You will get full marks as long as you have covered all the points in your own words.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
That is the beauty of SBL, that, you know, a lot of students, they forcefully try and use a model and then they get stuck in the middle. SBL examiner allows you not to use any model. As long as you cover all the logical relevant points, you will get all the marks. Okay, I want to do question task 1A. Okay, so I will open the task. It says required. Okay. Prepare a briefing paper to be presented at the next board meeting, which A, analyzes the environment in which smartware operates and consider how this might impact its business model, mission, and strategic goals. 10 marks. Can anybody tell me how we analyze an environment and what model we can use to analyze the external environment? So we need to analyze the environment using Pastel. Okay, I'm not going to go into technical details, but just keep in mind we are looking for Pastel. Why? Because sometimes some information is hidden there. But now today I'm not doing all this. The purpose is just to show you how manage the paper in a CBE. Now for Pastel, please, we need to read the overview. I know that some information is given in the overviews. Let me remove this highlight first. How do you remove highlight? Here. Now, let me open the Word document. As I said, we will do it simultaneously, side by side. So I will keep it here on one side. Smartwear. So I will just read. Smartwear is a long-established clothing retailer in Noria, a highly developed Northern European country, which is currently in the middle of a deep economic recession. I will say Noria, a highly developed Northern European country. I will Control C, select it. I will go to my Word document and I will paste it. Okay, Control V. Now I go back to this exhibit. Currently in the middle of deep economic recession. Can I use it somewhere in pastel? I will go to my Word document. I will paste it here. Again, I go back to the exhibit. What about this? The country is also experiencing political uncertainty because of its coalition government, which many influential commentators believe will not last for its full term. Can I use it?
Political factors.
Political. Please mute if you are not speaking. So political uncertainty, as the name says, I will do Control C. I will go here. I will paste it here. Okay. So I've got 1 point on political, 1 point on economy, 1 point on social. Again, these two factors have contributed to record high levels of unemployment, low business confidence, and a steady decline in the standard of living.
Social.
Social. Unemployment is a social thing. Standard of living is a social thing. Okay. So I'll just go, I will paste it somewhere nearby the social point, and then I will think about how to draft it. What about this? This has meant that during the recent economic downturn, Smartwear has been able to profit from the growing number of price-sensitive customers who blah, 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 blah. So the economy is down, but this was good for this company because this company is low-cost company. Did you understand that?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So this company, because we have not read the case, I'm just reading extracts. So this company, they sell cheap clothes. They position themselves as a cheap clothing provider. So when the economy is down, of course, people disposable income will be affected. They will move towards cheaper clothing. And can I use this somewhere? The impact of the economy on the company. Can I use it somewhere in my answer? What can we use all this here? Suffered more than 3 years of economic misery. There is still no end in sight. A recent report issued by the finance minister has forecasted negative economic growth, which means further decline. Can I use it somewhere? Yeah, let me first copy that so that you guys don't get confused. Economy. Now this exhibit is not working. Sometimes this practice software, it has issues. Huh? So it is gibberish. So I'll just do a recent report issued by, I'm just pressing space bar because I really want to use this information. So instead of typing, I'm just putting space in between. Okay, done. What about this? Price inflation has been running at 7% over a year. So I'm bringing all this information in one place, and in impact, I will say it's all good for me. What about this one? 8%. What about this? 8% of adult population is unemployed. Austerity programming. So, okay. So this is how you copy paste. So I will now close this exhibit. I will open my Word document properly and I will draft my answer. So I just first captured all the points. So I will first mention the question number. What is the question number? 1, enter. I will select it. I will make it large. And then I think there was a briefing paper required, if I'm not mistaken. So you will need to draw a briefing paper format, which I'm not going to cover right now. It will be covered in the webinars. Okay, there will be an opening sentence, which I can copy from here, Control C. I go to the Word document. I would say Control V. Following is the analysis of the environment in which smartware operates and consider how this might impact. That's it. You give an opening sentence. Noria is experiencing political uncertainty because of his belief that. So what's the impact of political uncertainty? So if the political situation of any country is uncertain, how does it impact my business? Yes,
Negatively
demand
impacts
I
it.
would cover under economy. Political instability. Noria is in the middle of deep economic recession, full stop. I can, put this in one paragraph because it's one point, a recent issue, economic growth. And then there's some point about inflation, which I was not able to copy. You can copy that, right? And then in the end, so we will say that although the economic environment in Noria is unfavorable, however, this has proven beneficial, or whatever English you want to write, for smartware. Why? Because during the recent economic downturn in Noria and social, Noria is a highly developed northern country with, however, 8% of the population is currently just unemployed, and then these factors have contributed to record levels of unemployment, low business confidence. That's it. You are done. Your question number 1A, worth 10 marks, is now done. I'm not showing you the ideal answer because the purpose was to show you how to shape up your question in a CBE format. So no need to mention the name of the model. Examiner would immediately understand that you have used the framework. This one separate, inflation separate. So all the points which you bring together, and those are counted as separate points, and your own comments regarding impact, that is also a point. So in fact, if you count the number of paragraphs, it is more than 10.
Right.
So don't judge by the size of the drafting. Judge me by the number of paragraphs.
Okay.
So if you keep in mind that each paragraph is 1 point, if I increase the window, the answer becomes shorter. You see?
Okay.
So there is no concept of size in this thing. Now, if I want to see how it looks to the examiner, wait, there's a format as well, which I have not made, but in a briefing paper, it will be FAO there will be a subject, there will be a date. You press this printer button. Do you see this print button here on top? Do you see this button here? You press this, print, and you cancel. No, you press print, and you see the answer here, how it shows to the examiner. So guys, did you enjoy? Did you learn today how a paper looks, how the CBE looks? Yes, the CBE in the exam is slightly different from the CBE in the practice session, and I will cover those differences in the webinars. But the problem is in couple of previous attempts, the paper actually automatically submitted 20 minutes before the standard time. Yes, but that would be my paid batch actually. For my paid students, we will be doing 5 full SBL questions live, like just like we did right now, and then there'll be 2 mocks and 1 assessment. And those of you who are not my full-time students, if you just want to join the practice session, which is highly recommended because we will actually do 5 SBL questions, then you can join my mock-based practice session starting from August 10th. All right, guys. So thank you so much. We will share the recording in a couple of days' time so that you can relook at it. I strongly advise that you log into your MyACCA and do some questions on the CBE Practice Platform. It is available in your MyACCA. Take a hands-on experience, okay?